All right, well, we're going to try to get started on this discussion that we made group. This is called How's Everybody Doing?
Great.
You know what I'm saying? I hear you, man. Yeah. Well, I think when we're talking about, we just want to restoring one's credibility, you know, to be a credible person, you know, one that is honest, believable, reliable, trustworthy, you know, one who's honest, believable, reliable, and trustworthy. Now, the reason why I brought this up, because I think we want to get to a point where that we want to be honest. I mean, you know, it's hard to be honest when everybody else is being dishonest. Is that hard? It's hard to play fair when everybody else is cheating. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? How can, this is a question, if you know people are being dishonest with you and they're not being fair with you, how do you be fair with them? Is that possible? If someone is lying to you or just not being honest, period, how can you be honest with them? I mean, is that possible? Is it?
No, it's not possible.
Huh?
No, it's not possible.
Someone's being unfair to you, like someone is treating you unfairly. Can you treat them fairly?
No, I can't.
Okay, if someone like hit you, is it required for you to hit them back?
You better.
Huh?
That's what they're gonna do it every time they see you.
Say it again.
Yes, to defend yourself.
Defend yourself. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, to defend yourself. So that's what you now. So really, maybe what you are defending when it comes to being honest, believable, rather than trustworthy, what we're defending is our credibility, our word. Yeah. What we say we're gonna do, we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to get to here, is that this is what we have to defend. Our credibility, our word. Because if someone comes at you in a certain way, and you're going to say, well, listen, man, I'm letting you know from the jump street. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to say it, express it with words. But you hey, man, if you coming at me, the laws of physics require for me to come back at you with the same amount of force.
Yeah.
Because you only can take but what?
So much.
You only can take but so much, man. Man, listen, right now, we want to be honest. This is discussion really is restoring the credibility. The first thing, we want to be honest, man. We got to be honest with ourselves. But if we ain't honest with ourselves, then we ain't going to be honest with nobody else.
No.
The first step is to be honest, man. Now, what I mean, let's look at that again now, right? Because to be honest, it has a aspect of being honorable. Now, I know sometimes it could be difficult for me. I'm honest with myself. It could be difficult for me. Let's be real. If I see this pretty lady, mm-hmm. It's difficult for me if I want her. It's difficult for me not to try to what? Go after her. Yeah. That's difficult, but I'm being honest with who? Mm-hmm. With myself. Mm-hmm. Because if we ain't honest with ourselves, we suppress things. And when we suppress things, it winds up oppressing us. And when it winds up impressing you, imprisons you, and you wind up going crazy, losing your mind. Yeah. Because you ain't being what? Honest. With yourself, man. Yeah. certain things I know I shouldn't do, but certain things I want to do, but I ain't being honest with my what? With myself. Because I know I have to what? Do it. But I don't want to. So therefore we have to deal with the consequences. You know? Now, watch this here now. We all want pleasure, but we don't want the responsibility to go with the pleasure. Is that honest now? Then listen, man. Let's be honest. We can use women again. Let's use women again. I like it. I had fun with it. I enjoy the pleasure, but I ain't want the responsibility that comes with that. Yeah. Because she can wind up having a child. She can be very argumentative. You know what I'm saying? She can be very contained. I mean, she just want to do things, man, that just drive me crazy. But I had pleasure with her. But yet, then there comes the responsibility too, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all can relate to this. I'm serious, man. So, as we see that where we are right now, we say, well, we're here and we're trying to, make the best of the situation that is at our disposal because we had pleasure in life. But when you get to a certain age or level of maturity, you know that responsibility comes with the pleasure. And we got to be honest with that. So, as I said here, we have to do things, we got to go all the way, which means we can't do nothing halfway. And I think that's the challenge too, man. When we want something and we want to achieve something in life, we got to go all the way. For example, some of you guys, I don't know if you ever heard of a guy named Reginald Lewis. Not the basketball player, but the businessman. In Baltimore. He's from Baltimore. He got the Reginald Lewis Museum. They asked his daughter, his daughter asked the question, what does it take to be successful? He said, do your homework and follow through. You know what I'm saying? Simple. Do your homework. Whatever it is that we want to accomplish in life, we got to do your homework and we got to follow through on it. That means we got to go all the way with it, man. Follow through. Don't do it halfway. Don't leave the work unfinished. Now, if I was a criminal in my mind, we all look at TV in the mob. They send a guy on a hitman to do a job, right? And he says, make sure you do what? You finish at work. You finish them off. Yeah. Why is it necessary to finish them off? Why?
Going all the way.
Yeah, I know, but why? What's he go all the way?
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, why should he? Why do he? Why he should finish him off all the way?
That's probably what the job required for.
Okay, good point. That's what the job required for him to do, because if he don't finish him off, he's susceptible to tell or get them jammed up for what the guy came to do harm to him for. So to shut him up, to go all the way. Now, even when you do something, you leave evidence behind. Somebody can what? Catch up with you.
Yeah.
To leave evidence behind. So what I'm trying to say is that when you don't do the job all the way based upon your behavior, you leave evidence behind, then people will see you as not being a credible person because of the evidence, and the evidence is your behavior. When you do things halfway, when they see you're not trustworthy, when they see you're not reliable. See, we all are capable, but we're not dependable.
Yeah.
We have to be, man. So, we must do and take the necessary steps of what is expected of us when we say that we are going to be about our word. Now, what does that mean, to be about your word?
Stand your ground, for one thing. To be about your word.
You, Mr. Frank, what does that mean to be about your word to you?
Well, you pretty much said it all, I think. Your credibility with other people in your group.
Now, remember what you had shared with me when you said you was working with the what place you was working at for 30 years or more?
The restaurant.
The restaurant. Now you see that everybody that you interact with, I mean the administrative staff there, that for the most part they were trustworthy and honorable people because they had a work ethic and their aim or mission was making sure that you was all right and that you got that everybody worked together and got the job done, right? That was that a pact that you all made or an agreement, or that's something that you all saw in each other? That you all were trustworthy, honorable, and reliable people?
Well, it's the second one. They recognized I was a hard worker. I showed initiative, did more than was required of me. So I developed a good reputation. I didn't do it methodically. I just did my job. It's just like you said, do your job thoroughly and people will notice.
That's right. That's right. Because it comes down to this. Be consistent in your, people notice and consistent in your what? In your behavior, man. They notice either consistent in your behavior or something that is inconsistent with what you say that you are going to do and you don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People see that every day, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't you notice some things about, don't we all notice some things about each other?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we get to a point where we can honor our words and we can be trustworthy? There is a teaching about an individual, and they say that we don't believe what he's saying, but we trustworthy. We trust him enough to leave something at his disposal, and we know he ain't gonna touch it. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
You can have a strong belief about something, and we may not believe it, but I can leave something in your hands and know that you're trustworthy enough that I ain't gonna touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know people like that?
Yeah.
Do you? That you can sit something, you can sit like $100 down on the table.
You know they're not gonna touch
You know they ain't gonna touch it.
I know very few.
That's key. You said, you know what?
Very few.
Very few. People that are trustworthy, that they're honest, and that they are reliable, and that they're dependable, and that they honor their word, that they're credible people. Very few. What about you, Frank? You know people like that you can trust, that's honorable, that's credible.
Oh yeah, well, one of them was my boss at the restaurant. She was very much that way.
Mm-hmm.
She herself was very trustworthy, and she gave me responsibility because she knew I would follow through.
Follow through. Like when you shoot a basketball, they say, follow through.
Mm-hmm.
Trustworthy. I know few. I don't know many. So those few that you do know, that's the company you that's the company you keep, man. You keep them close to you.
Mm-hmm.
Those few that you know. But those who you know that are not trustworthy, not honorable, when it comes to their word, you don't keep them close to you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Even though some say keep your enemies closer, nah, I don't know. Nah. You don't want them to be around. I'm gonna tell you why, because what they do is that's what they do. They influence your decisions, man. They influence your decisions. You want to be around good people that you all can have influence over each other's decisions, because you all gonna make the best decisions that's going to serve the interests of the group. And that's how people come together, and that's how groups, whatever we want to say it or not, communities, nations, whatever it is, they come together to serve the best interests of that group. They make an agreement. They said this here about, and they separated some young guys in the music industry. A guy named Damon Dash, and the guy now he's making a billionaire, I think it's Jay-Z. They came together. They made an agreement, said this is what we're going to do. And they went on and did it. Then they went their separate ways. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But we have to make an agreement. Husband and wife. They have to make a what? An agreement. Mm-hmm. And say this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to go about doing it. Now, how we get it down to an individual term? We have to make an agreement with ourselves and says, this is what we're going to do, and this is how I'm going to go about doing it. And what we need to do here when it comes to that, we must establish here a goal. And this is how we want to go about achieving and getting to that goal. That's what we got to do. It's necessary for us to do that, man. But we got to be trustworthy, honorable, reliable, and honest. And at the same time, we got to be sincere. Be sincere. Be dedicated. Be committed. Be devoted. Be determined. Be inspired. Be encouraged. The first person you have to believe in is who?
Yourself.
Ain't that simple?
Yeah.
Why would you let something outside of you to persuade you not to believe in yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's right. Got to, man. I don't care what condition we or you all are in. You got to believe in yourself. Now, if what you have been doing has not been working out for you, you got to be honest with yourself and say, I got to change what? My course of action. Huh? I got to change the way I think. I got to change the way I go about approaching things, because it's not what? It's not working for me. All boils down to you got to be honest with your what?
Yeah.
Honest with yourself. It's not working for me. So what are the results that we are looking for? But we must put forth the effort in order to get the results. If I want to go out and do something, I'm going to put forth an effort to go out and produce